Welcome to World Buzz Bulletin. Today is Monday, the 5th of January, 2026. We begin the first full work week of the new year with a world still fractured by the harrowing realities of conflict, as the international community struggles to find a path toward justice and peace. Our headlines today are dominated by the worsening crises in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, where the human cost of violence continues to reach unprecedented levels. We turn first to the devastating situation in the Palestinian territories. Throughout the day on January 4th, reports from Gaza and the West Bank described a landscape under continuous and heavy assault. Following months of what many across the globe are calling relentless terror attacks, the final shreds of civilian safety have all but vanished. The air is thick with the dust of collapsed residential blocks, and the sounds of shelling provide a haunting soundtrack to a population pushed into the smallest corners of their land. The humanitarian fallout from the recent ban on 37 major aid groups is now being felt with lethal force. With the departure of organizations like Doctors Without Borders and the Norwegian Refugee Council, the last defenses against starvation and systemic disease have been dismantled. The question that remains at the heart of global protests is simple yet profound. When will this terror end? As we enter 2026, the cries to free Palestine have moved from the streets into the very halls of international justice, demanding a future where Palestinians can finally live their lives freely, without the constant threat of destruction. The world watches, waiting for a diplomatic breakthrough that can restore dignity and sovereignty to a people who have endured a catastrophic cycle of violence. The yearning for liberty is a fire that cannot be extinguished, yet the immediate need for a ceasefire and the restoration of life-saving aid is a matter of life and death for millions. Simultaneously, the update from Ukraine on this 5th of January remains equally grim as the nation endures a punishing winter. Over the past 24 hours, the front lines have been a theater of brutal artillery exchanges and strategic drone strikes. Despite the cold, Ukrainian forces continue their resilient defense against ongoing offensives in the Donbass. However, the systematic targeting of the energy grid continues to leave civilian centers in darkness, forcing families into underground shelters to escape the sub-zero temperatures. The call to free Ukraine resonates as a fundamental defense of the international order. While political debates in global capitals fluctuate over the scale of military support, the resolve of the Ukrainian people to protect their land remains a pillar of hope in an otherwise dark landscape. As we witness these parallel tragedies, the collective conscience of the world is being tested like never before. These conflicts are a stark reminder that we must stand against terrorism in all its forms and prioritize the preservation of life over political hegemony. To save humanity, the international community must find the strength to enforce justice and protect the innocent from the machinery of war. The struggle for a free Palestine and a free Ukraine is a struggle for the very soul of the 21st century. We must continue to strive for a future where every individual can breathe the air of liberty. Free Palestine, free Ukraine, stand against terrorism, save humanity. Thank you for choosing World Buzz Bulletin for your global news coverage. Stay safe and stay informed.